It's interesting that Jesus seems to have come to this planet to perform his infinite atonement, his saving act for all of the creations which he has made. They're all going to be redeemed through his atonement that he performs once for all, but he performs it here. Brothers and sisters, we don't know the answers to all of these questions or the implications, but you and I are walking on the same planet that the creator of worlds without number was born onto and lived and performed his infinite atonement here. We're breathing the same air he did when he performed this infinite atonement for all of God's children, which gives us context to these elements of the gospel that he's asking us to live in a very, very wicked world. He's giving us help that we need to combat that world that we live in. Now, let's shift over, Casey, to the second vision. So, picking up in verse 25, we're going to take this second vision of the devil. Like you said, we're going from this contrast of ultimate good to now what does ultimate opposition, ultimate evil look like in the second vision?
Right. The best of the best, or the highest a person can become, is personified in Jesus Christ. The interesting thing is, right after this revelation that Jesus is the Savior of all the worlds, we immediately go down to where Lucifer is. We see the worst, the most depraved that a son of God can possibly become. And it gives us some interesting background on Lucifer. For instance, verse 25 describes him as an angel who was in authority in the presence of God, who rebelled against the only begotten Son, whom the Father loved, and was in the bosom of the Father, and was thrust down from the presence of God and the Son. And then says he was called perdition. Perdition, like we mentioned earlier, is a Latin word that means ruined beyond all repair. And in contrast to that, they mention he was Lucifer. Lucifer is a Latin term that means the bright one. Meaning he had all this potential, he had all this goodness within him. He could have been a great leader, but he was ruined beyond all repair.